So, Brandon, I'm a little curious. How do your sessions usually start? Like you said, you had a voice memo, you had a bass line, sent it to a
Mhm.
partner. Is it always all over the map in different ways for you? It starts in different ways, or is there kind of a process that you kind of fall back on when you are working on production?
Yeah, I try to match the artist, right? Like as a producer, everything about me is how can I serve the artist? And so the most important part is for me to like know the person.
Hmm.
So I love when if we're working remotely, if we're working in person, let's have a conversation. Let's hang out. Let's talk about music, right? And now too, I've established a thing with new clients. Um, let's spend about 45 minutes an hour just listening to each other's music, what we like, and having a conversation. And you can start to really hear a lot with what they say and with what they don't say,
Hmm.
what their comfortability is, their way of working and everything. And what I really love to do is try to kind of identify where's this person needing a little bit more confidence? Where's this person maybe a little bit afraid to step into? And I like to kind of start the session in that pocket where they're a little bit uncomfortable because I'm going to put them in a new way of working. But then I found that one, it blesses them because then they do overcome it and they do kind of step out and like, oh, I could work like this. This is awesome. And then also kind of sends them off kilter out of the normal routine, and they start to create something that they're really excited about. So, for
Hmm.
an example, would be artist that I'm working with right now. Her name is Jules Walcott. She's like an alternative artist, but she works in LA predominantly. And so the style of music production is like, hey, let me play you like 10 beats and then you choose one and then we'll write a melody and then bada boom, bada bang, and then we're cool. With her, I was like, well, let's just do something from scratch. So let me bust out the guitar, piece of guitar, let me hit voice memo, and I'm going to play and you sing a couple different melodies. She said, okay. And then I captured all that. I put it into Pro Tools. I chopped it up and kind of was like, all right, here, I kind of like this order, Jules. What do you think? And then boom. And then sometimes it changes. Sometimes the artist will get mean. That same artist, Jules, was like, hey, I took what you did from yesterday and I put it into AI and I had AI come up with this different arrangement. What do you think? I'm like, oh, wow, cool. And then we would rebuild tracks out of that stuff too. So
Yeah.
there's always kind of like a give and take between us.
Yeah. It sounds like you're really open to whatever the music or the project calls for. And
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
love that you're open to like getting to know them, figuring out where they're a little bit shy, maybe, and pushing them on that edge because I think that's really where like flow happens too. Like where you're a little bit outside your comfort zone and you discover something about yourself that you actually are excited about. And then they look to you, Brandon. They're like, "Oh, Brandon got me here. He pushed me to this stage." So that builds for you that added confidence or that added kind of I don't know. I guess it develops your relationship with them to a higher degree there, which is, I think, really valuable.
Definitely. I want artists, anyone that I work with, whether an artist or sometimes even I just have a friend who wants to explore it. I want people to know that I care about them as the people, right? And so I can definitely just be only about the music, but I found that when you get in a creative space with another individual, there's a level of like connection that you really cannot get outside of other like vehicles of work together, right?
Mhm.
And so I found that like, hey, when you really get to know that person and use the music as a window towards their growth and their healing and their process of developing, maturing, 'cause that's what we're all doing in life. It's like as we progress in life, it's just knowing ourselves a little bit more, knowing who we are a little bit better, and being more confident in who we are, what we've been created to do. If I can be a little bit of a vessel to help get that person to the next step, and especially with their own art, because the artist, their relationship with their art is so they find their identity in it, right? For better or for worse, they find their identity. And so if I can help them in that process become more confident in their identity, then I know I've done my job right.